So the mainstream media and also the spineless coward Eric Adams as well is piling on a brother by the name of Douglas Powell. There was a recent meeting at the city council on December the 8th about a new law. They are floating around New York where they will not require criminal background checks in order for a person to lease an apartment, etc. And there are some people that have to take issue with that. Now, we know that particular provision was brought in by Bill Clinton, a Democrat, long time ago, where felons could not get apartments, etc., and created a homeless problem and also a crime problem, because you put people on the street and they can't have a place to live, that's going to lead them to possibly committing crimes against other citizens in the country, which was the dumbest thing ever. If a person do their debt to society, they should be able to come out and have a place to stay. Now, the issue is they are talking about this brother's conviction. They also up here trying to accuse this brother of anti-Asian hate and all these other things. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a clip of the Asian lady saying something. Exactly what that brother said, verbatim, and I want to play what he said in its entirety, because the mainstream media and their wickedness only played a clip. They didn't play the whole thing what this brother had to say, and this is what you got us here for in the grassroots black media. This is what you got us here for, because we're going to make sure that we play things in its entirety and making sure that we will always defend the community. But let's go ahead and roll that.
That is very real. We have Chinese landlord that have predominantly a Chinese building in the Lower East Side. He or she should know if someone that they're putting in the building has a history of being convicted for anti-Asian hate crimes. Why is that not considered? I mean, there's assaults, there's so many violent history of people that can come in. Yes, there are some that are rehabilitated and have not committed, and those should be given a chance. But there are also ones that have repeat offenses that actually bring a lot of harm to their neighbors and their community. This bill does not address that.
Douglas Powell, I'm a vocal New York leader of the homelessness and the Civil Rights Union. I've been incarcerated for 34 years. I was forced to come homeless when I came out of prison. They took me to a shelter in shackles like I was coming off the slave ship, like I was a slave or something. I had shackles and handcuffs on, going to the shelter. I'm being released, but I still got on shackles and handcuffs. This is not about felonies. It's about race. It's about black people. You see them Asian people that I just was talking? I live in Rico Park now. That is the racistest neighborhood I ever been in. And there's nothing but Asians in there. If you go in a store, they will follow you around like you're getting ready to steal something. So that garbage that they was talking up here, because that's all it was garbage. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want black people to live in black people's neighborhood. Because it's not their neighborhood, because they from China, Hong Kong. We from New York. This bill has got to be passed. It got to be passed so that other people can live better. All New Yorkers need a permanent house to live. Not just white people, not just Asian people, but all people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't for Unlock New York City, I would still be in that shelter. I was in the shelter for 3.5 years, fighting to get out. And they wouldn't let me out. And the only reason why I got the charge that I got is because the Judge Walsh, P50, Kings County, told me he didn't want to hear nothing I had to say. And if I go to trial, I was going to blow. So where did that leave me? I had to plead guilty, or I wouldn't even be speaking to y'all right now. So I was forced to get a crime. I was forced to be a felon. Just like most black people that go into the system. Because as soon as you go into the system, ain't no real way out for you because you ain't got no money. And the lawyer they gave me was a prosecutor. She was supposed to be a defense lawyer, but she was the DA. Didn't believe a word I said, even though everything I said and showed her was the truth. Then they came back and said, this is what we're going to do for you. We're going to give you 2.5 years, but you got to plead guilty right now. And we're going to let you go home. But they never let me go home. Even though I pleaded guilty, they made me go upstate and take all these programs that I successfully completed. And while I was upstate, I saved 3 white people's lives that they never talk about. But they still hit me at the parole board. But I saved 3 people's lives up in the prison system. You know what I'm saying?
Now you heard the lady say specifically, it was a Chinese landlord. She said Chinese people stay there. She said it.
That is very real. We have Chinese landlord that have predominantly a Chinese building in the Lower East Side.
But then when the black man said about Chinese and they from China and Hong Kong, and you all of a sudden now you're trying to Kyrie Irving him. And what I mean by try to Kyrie Irving him, you know, Kyrie Irving shared the link from Amazon. All of a sudden he's called anti-Semitic, and he didn't say nothing at all like that. He didn't produce the movie. He wasn't in the movie. None of that. It's the same thing with this guy. He said the person's from China or Hong Kong, which the lady said about Chinese, correct? She said it. And all of a sudden you're trying to accuse his brother of anti-Asian, bigotry? This is more of that, oh, I'm a white supremacist, and that's what I say about you as a black person, and that's what it is, and I'm going to put this mess out in the media. Now, you heard about that brother, and you heard what he said about how he even got his conviction a long time ago. And black people have been put in those same positions, what he said, every day. They're supposed to be getting a public defender, and it's like a prosecutor. They don't believe nothing they say. They're not fighting for them because they work for the state. So they don't want to fight anything. They don't want to deal with no case, no anything. And try to tell that brother to go ahead and just take a plea deal. You'll be out pretty quick or whatever. A lot of times these brothers haven't done anything, and they're afraid that if I don't just take this plea deal, I'm going to get hit with 50 years. So you face a 2.5 years versus this judge trying to throw 30 years at you because you don't want to take a plea deal. You're a young man, you're scared, you don't know what's going to happen or whatever. A lot of times these young brothers are taking these plea deals. And then they get labeled like that for the rest of their life. And you heard his brother say he got out, he was virtually homeless. Some of these brothers that get out of prison, they become homeless. Sometimes they commit a crime just so they can get put back in, because at least in jail they had a place to stay. They was getting 3 square meals. They're not on the street when they out there in prison. This country is wicked for what they're doing. So what they're trying to do in New York, I actually agree with that. I agree with the law they're trying to come up with. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. Now, of course, I believe certain things, people should not be around, certain areas, certain crimes. I do agree with that. But when people just have a criminal record for a whole lot, let's say nonviolent. These are nonviolent offenses, but it could have been a felony, but it's still nonviolent. People who are nonviolent should not have no issues and problems. There are people that have been to jail 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and still having a problem getting a place to stay. And it's been 12 years. They never even got a speeding ticket in 12 years since they've been out. And they're having trouble getting a place to stay. That's not right. It creates a homeless problem. And New York is high as hell. Everybody know that. And y'all have a problem on your hands in New York. Because when I went to New York a few weeks ago, I was shocked at some of the things I was seeing when I was there. I said, man, and this is in Manhattan when I saw all this stuff. I'm not even go down there with brothers talking about go see in the Bronx and all that. I'm talking about Manhattan. I'm seeing all this stuff go on. So no, people do need a place to stay. But the mainstream media sitting up here trying to say, basically, I'm a white supremacist media, and this is what we say about this black man. We're going to sit up here and just basically lie on this black man saying, no. And he was not saying they wasn't New Yorkers. Oh, he said they wasn't New Yorkers. That's not what he said. He said where they originally come from. So they came from Ghana. He said these people from Ghana. And why they didn't address what that brother said about the anti-black racism? Why didn't they address that? Notice they didn't want to address that about how when black people go in their establishments, how black people are followed. or that hurry up and buy crap. See, I'm different. I'm not gonna go spend my money in any establishment where people gonna treat me bad. It ain't happening. See, I'm the boycott guy. I'm that guy. If everybody, listen, if I had the power for everybody in Black America to listen to me, oh, we wouldn't have a problem with any group. Because I would say this, okay, you racist? No problem. Hey, boycott all their businesses starting today until I tell y'all different. Boy, they'll be begging. Because these groups need black people's money. And y'all don't get that. Y'all could break a lot of this racism against you today. You don't need no Congress to do nothing at all. You could break their racism by starving them out through economics. And black folks would actually respect ourselves as a people and say, you know what? I'm not putting up with that no more. So fine. You want to be racist? No problem. Do that. I'm not giving my money to no racist. None. I don't care what color you are. We're going to pull back our economic support. We're going to pull it back. We're not going to go to your restaurants. We're not going to go to your dry cleaner. We're not going to go to your hair supply. We're not going to go to anything. We'll order whatever we need to order online. We're not going to go to your nail salon. We're going to find a salon in the community. We're not going to do that because of the racism. I promise you, if you stick to a strong economic boycott for 1 year, like Martin Luther King did, 1 good year, you boycott them, that's going to send a shockwave to all these groups and say, man, look, I'm not trying to piss black people off because they're going to boycott. They're going to boycott their money and we need their money. Trust me, they will be going out of business. Do you remember during the pandemic when black folks pulled back and they were crying about, oh, our business is being closed and this and that and the third? Do y'all remember that? When black people initially started pulling back, when they was falsely accusing black America as having this anti-Asian bigotry. And black folks got pissed and black folks say, okay, well, we racist, no problem. We're not going to your place and we're not going to eat with you. Don't worry with it. And they were crying, telling us, oh, we need money because they're not coming in our stores anymore. And all, do you remember that? I do. Y'all have power in America, black people, and y'all don't use it. Any group that's being bigoted toward you, y'all done it to the white supremacists. These other groups are like work. They are extremely like work. Even the white supremacists don't want you to boycott them. They don't want that because, they know they're in trouble too. They need your money. That's where your power lies, black people, is in economics. Not yelling in the streets, not marching, not breaking any laws. Your power is in the economics. Take the money away. That's how you sting people in a capitalist system. Your power is your economics. Don't let all these people come in. We ain't got no money. Oh, we are so poor. We ain't got no wealth. Collectively, we are powerful. Collectively. This is why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, our unity is like an atomic bomb. Even J. Edgar Hoover said the greatest threat to America was Negro unity. Why? Because our power is in our unification. Everybody understands that, but the majority of you. What if you at least 50% of black America boycotted anybody that mess with us? Trust me, they would have to start respecting us. If they had some racist attitudes, they would keep it somewhere else. We could change this, folks. We need to stop begging people to change our situation. We need to stop looking at Democrats to change our situation. No, we can stop this mess today. We can stop it all by just simply boycotting and being loud about the boycott until we get what we want. It's just that simple. Why don't you try it? Why don't you try it? You'll see what I'm talking about. Them certain areas so they don't want black people in, fine. Don't go over there. Don't spend a dime. And tell them why, because you don't like black people. That's why I'm not going over there. They'll be crying to the city council after 30 days. Talking about, oh, they don't want to come shop with us and we not that way. And hey, you know, we part African too. We got our African ancestry. Look, see? They'll be doing that mess. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that. But yeah, lying on that brother like that, trying to Kyrie Irving this brother. No, we can't allow that in black media. We can't. No. But you want to address the anti-black racism that the brother talking about.